Hi everyone, I am so excited to be doing this free week-long training about tuning in to guidance. Now, you may be asking, why am I doing this? Well, I'm doing this because for me personally, I get so many requests from people asking, how do I tune in? Where can I get my guidance? Why am I not getting guidance? Why am I not hearing? I'm not as good as you. I can't do what you do. And I want to help everyone realize that you can do exactly what I can do. I am not special. I am not anything. I'm really not. I'm nothing special. You all can do the exact same things that I can do. And I want to share with everyone how I got to this point. Good evening, Miss Shirley. I can't wait to get on with you later on tonight. Well, actually at 7 o'clock. Can't wait. So I am just super excited. So you're going to see me looking off screen here really quick just because I am also sharing this to, my groups. If you guys feel like you'd like to share it to your groups or even share it out to a friend, feel free. That's why this is free, because I want to be able to get the word out there as much as possible. Now remember, this is not for free readings. This is not for free advice. This is not for any of that. This is to help you to gain insight into what may be the blocks for you that are coming up in a way of guidance, of why you're not receiving guidance, okay? So like I said, I'm just sharing this to some of my pages. And once again, I invite you guys to do the same. And while I'm doing that, I do want to let you know what tonight is going to be really about. And tonight is, where does guidance come from? And I want to go over some talking points. So, talking point number 1, where does guidance come from? Talking point number 2 is, using discernment. And then I have talking point number 3, but I can't remember what I wrote down, so I have to look at it real quick. And talking point number 3 is, guides and their names, or angels and their names, okay? So I'm so excited to be doing this and to be able to put it out there for you guys. So that's going to be the talking points for tonight, okay? And then, the next time, the next time that I come on, which will be tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m., we'll be doing, another lesson. And then the next time and the next time. So I'm going to be doing this for a whole week. For the next 5 days, I'm going to be on live at 6 p.m. doing these live trainings, okay? So that is what we are going to be doing. Once again, just as a reminder to everyone, this is not for getting a free reading. This is not about getting free guidance. This is about helping you tune into your own guidance system. That's what this is all, that's what this seminar, this workshop is going to be all about. And like I said, you'll see me looking off, looking off camera right now, but that's just because I am just sharing this out. So hello, thank you all for joining. Thank you for being here. If you feel like a friend would benefit from this, please feel free to invite them, or if you just would like to share this to a page that you think would enjoy this, or people could gain some benefit from it, then feel free to share that out as well, or to that point, or to that place, not point. But yeah, so that's what tonight's going to be all about. That's what we're going to be doing. So this should be super exciting. Now, I am going to do my very best to open it up to questions at the end based on the topic we're talking about. Once again, about anything that I have discussed during, this time frame. Not, any specific questions in the way of what should I do, or asking for guidance in that way. But, just questions about the topic that we have covered. And I know I keep saying it, and I know I keep going over, and I probably sound like a broken record, but I want to be very clear about what this is for tonight. All right. So like I said, I'm just sharing this out to 2 more groups, and then I will be all shared out, and we will begin. All right. Oh, why didn't it do it? There it is. All right. So the laptop seems to be working real slow right now, but that's all right. We just take each thing as it comes. Hello, Miss Cynthia. Thanks for joining. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here and joining me so that we can all learn to tune in together. Because, you know, for some people, this may sound like a ridiculous premise for doing this, but I really want to put myself out of business. I know that sounds crazy, like, Ron, this is what you make a living doing. But I want to help people as much as I can for free as possible to help you so you don't have to keep coming to psychics and intuitives, so you don't have to keep looking outside of yourself for any of your answers. I want everyone to know here and now in this moment, if you get nothing else from this, please listen to this. There is not one person out here in the world, in the illusion, in the dream, in the context of the matrix, whatever you want to call it, that can give you more precise guidance than your internal internal teacher. Not one person. Now, people may be able to help put you on the right path. People may be able to guide you towards a certain direction, but they will never be able to give you the wonderful, fabulous step-by-step instructions that your guidance system has for you. Because that's the beauty of guidance, guys. And that's where I guess we're going to start, is when it comes to guidance, it's not about you knowing the future. It's not about you being 50 steps ahead of life. It's about you taking that's what guidance is. Guidance is a step-by-step instruction. I like to describe guidance as your GPS system. And, you know, basically all it does, it's not going to tell you, hey, you know, now it may, for some GPS systems, be like, hey, for 67 miles, you're going to be going straight. And that's it. And then not before you need to know, which would be maybe, 10 miles, maybe 15 miles, maybe a mile, maybe 100 feet. It's going to say, hey, you need to turn. It's going to say, hi, GPS system here, just letting you know you might want to take this exit. Now, it's never, ever going to yell at you, scream at you, nothing like that. All your guidance system is going to do is guide you. And that's the beauty. Hi, thanks for joining. That's it. It's just going to help to guide you where you need to be at any particular point. It's not about knowing the future. Yes, we did talk about this on Thursday, but it's not about knowing the future. It's about, okay, what's my next right action step? Next right action step. That's it. It's not about, oh my God, what's my 50th next right action step? It's not, what's my second next right action step? It is, what is my next right action step in this now moment? That is how I have found guidance to work the best. Guidance doesn't work when you're trying to make it work for you, when you're trying to make it do something. It comes when you need it. Maybe not when you want it, but when you need it, it's always there. And the beautiful thing about spirit is it's always there, constantly by your side, whispering in your ear. And that's why I want to let everyone know, once again, your guidance is not out here in the world. I even caught myself, for a very long time, I would look up at the corner of my ceiling to have a conversation with God. Or to have a conversation with spirit, to have a conversation, with whatever you deem as your higher power. And I remember one time, spirit literally telling me, are there eyes in the corner of your room? Is there a nose? Is there a body? And I would say, no, there's nothing there. And they said, exactly. There's nothing out there. It's all in here. But the tendency is we oftentimes are afraid of what's in here. so we don't look at what's in here. Instead, we look everywhere else for that answer. Now, of course, I'm not telling you, don't go see a doctor if you need a doctor. Don't go see a lawyer if you need a lawyer. Don't, the thing about guidance is it's very practical. You'll be guided every step of the way. And that's what we have to remember. You will be guided every step along the way. Now, you may be saying, well, Ron, I followed my intuition before, and it just led me to a dead-end road. And that is, that's not so much what it is. It's not that it ever leads you to a dead-end road. Now, you may have thought you were listening to spirit guidance, but in fact, you were listening to the ego guidance. Yes, yeah, sometimes exactly that, Miss Shirley, exactly that, afraid of the unknown. Yes. And it's okay to be afraid, but we have to step past that fear. We have to begin to do that. I was in the middle of watching another video and suddenly my Facebook just brought me here. Oh, well, I guess you just need to hear whatever messages are going to come through from this. So beautiful. So, like I said, how can we begin to discern what is Spirit's guidance and what is the ego's guidance? And we know the ego's guidance by the voice and by the tone. The ego guidance is always very hustled. It's always very angry. It always seems to be in a hurry. And it always seems to be coming from the past or from fear. I have to call this company by 5 o'clock because if I don't, terrible, awful things are going to happen. Okay? Susan, thank you so much for admitting that, and thank you so much for stepping up to the plate. That is beautiful. And Shirley, of course, thank you for doing the exact same, for stepping up to the plate and saying, you know what? Yeah, I'm afraid. Because that's the first thing we got to do. Admit that you're afraid to tune into the guidance. Admit that there may be some fear or some intrepidation. It's okay. You're not here to be judged. I'm not here to judge you, and God's not judging you at all. If God started judging people, then we'd be in trouble. But God doesn't judge. So there's the beauty. But that's how we can begin to discern that guidance that comes from Spirit is loving and kind and gentle. It's a whisper. It's not, you better do this in your face like that. That's not how it is. My hand by itself, click see first and I'm shocked because I didn't do it. Beautiful, beautiful. I see. Well, once again, that's not what this is about. So we're not talking, this is not about you finding out what it is from me. This is about you tuning in to you and really saying, okay, why am I seeing these repeating numbers? What do they mean to me? And asking for that guidance yourself. Because that's where like I said, we may be guides, but we cannot tell you all the answers. And this is where the ego loves to come in. The ego loves to divert. And it loves to say, this is its favorite saying. And I know this because I've been there. That's why I can speak about this, because I've been exactly where all of you may be. Which is, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Well, of course it doesn't make sense because you're thinking of it logically. This is where ego comes in. It loves to analyze. Okay, here's the projected figures. Here's this. That's the ego. It's analyzation. It's staring at a puzzle, staring at one piece of the puzzle instead of looking at the whole thing. That's all that it is. Thank you, Karen, for admitting that. Thank you. Kay, thank you for admitting that. I love that all of you are feel comfortable enough to really say, I'm afraid. Thank you. Yes, Miss Michelle knows this because Miss Michelle is one of my mentoring clients, as is Miss Shirley and Miss Cynthia. They are mentoring clients of mine. So we go deep in depth about this stuff. And so yes, the ego's greatest ally is logic and analyzation. So if you find yourself analyzing, okay, we're going to take, why am I seeing these numbers? You're looking at it and be like, hey, why am I seeing it? Why? Okay, well, notice what you're doing. You're not asking for guidance. You're asking, I want the reason. Tell me the reason. You're not asking for guidance. That's different. See, asking for guidance is very different than demanding for revelation, demanding for the guidance. Because we can ask a question and just say, you know what? Okay, I've been seeing these repeating number patterns for however long. So first of all, let's take a deep breath. And I love to put my hands over my heart. This really helps me. Okay, so deep breaths. We just take deep breaths. And just keep your hand over your heart. And just breathe. Just taking really big, deep breaths and just letting them out. And then we can say, okay, I've been seeing a lot of repeating numbers. I don't know what they mean. I don't know why I'm seeing them. Nothing seems to really make sense. And then just take another deep breath. I ask, what would you have me do? What would you have me know? Please show me a physical sign in the physical world to let me know. How simple and easy is that? Simple and easy. Show me, I don't know what to do. I don't know what they mean. Can you please show me? Ask to be shown. And once again, yes, you can ask other people, but remember, that's their opinion. That's their perception. It's not necessarily true for you, because the number 22 may mean for me divine harmony. And I'd be like, oh yeah, it means divine harmony. But for you and your perception, 22 may actually break down to the number 4, which actually means a strong foundation. Once again, the divine speaks to each of us in a way that we will understand. That's it. Yes, and the divine is always simple. The divine is always easy. It's never complicated. Once again, if you find it to be complicated, that's when you know ego has crept in. If you're, let's say, I'm going to give you this example. I'm just going to get a card out of here. Okay. So we're going to, how funny, it's this card. But we're just going to say that you get this card, follow the leader, right? And you're like, okay, I'm going to look at this card. So I'm just going to let everyone look at this card for a minute. And you're looking at this card and then you're like, oh my God, that's a goose. Or maybe it's a duck. Who I don't know, because if it's a goose, then it's this message. And if it's a duck, it's this message. Oh my God, what am I going to do? And wait a minute, is that a fairy or is that a pixie? Because if it's a fairy, then it's this message. And if it's a pixie, then it's this message. And that's, once again, what is that? Now you're analyzing everything. Now you're trying to figure everything out. It's just what comes to you in that moment. Okay, this is a duck. Okay, this is a fairy. Okay, I see little ducklings and a little goose, and I see a clock on the, the thing. And that's it. That's it. Okay, this is what I see. What would you have me know about this? And just relax. Guidance isn't about trying to get the first answer and it's not about getting it right. And that is what I want to say so much about guidance. It's not about getting it right. Okay? It's not about getting it right. It's not what guidance is about. Guidance is about leading you to waking up to the truth of who you are. That's all guidance is. And it's just leading you more and more and more to reveal that, to show you how much you are loved, to show you how much the divine wants you to know that it's there to help you every step of the way. Yes, our ego is very clever and it will try to spiritualize itself. So be very vigilant of that. It'll try to be like, well, I talk to 12th dimensional Palladian collective. You only talk to the 5th dimensional. Right there, ego, because now you're trying to, now what you're trying to do is you are now trying to one up someone else. Well, I talk to the 6th dimensional. I talk to the 7th dimensional. Well, I know all the names of my guides. I get into the Akashic Records. I do this, I do that. It's not about hierarchy. It's not about whose guidance is better, whose guidance is clearer, who's this and who's that. That's not what guidance is about. Guidance is individual for you. Okay? That's it. Guidance is individual for you. Not for anybody else. It's for you. Now, you may share that message with other people. Yes, you may share. That's totally fine. Share your guidance, share your messages with other people if that's what you feel called to do. But only if you feel called to do it. All right? So once again, let's do a quick little review. Number 1, guidance does not come out from out here. Guidance is always within here. And we have to tune into that. A great way to tune into that is putting our hands over our hearts, taking a big, deep breath in. And maybe just taking 3 big, deep breaths in and then letting out a sound, letting yourself relax. And then just asking yourself, what does my heart say? And then just listening. Just listen. My heart says that. That's what you got to do. And my heart says leave, or my heart says go, or my heart says yes, or my heart says no. You know, but that's one way that you can begin to kind of tune in, because you're taking yourself out of here, out of logic, and just coming down to here. Because like I said, like Michelle said as well, guidance is simple. It may be one word. It may be a feeling. It may just be something that you just know, and you don't know how you know. You just know you know. And that's okay. Okay, and that's actually going, well, and then let's go to part number 2, which is, how do we tell if we're listening to guidance from ego or if we're listening to real spiritual guidance or guidance from love, guidance from the divine? And the best way we can do that is guidance from the ego is complicated. Guidance from the ego is aggressive or angry. Guidance from the ego oftentimes requires sacrifice from you, you know. And then guidance from the ego also is arrogant. Guidance from the ego is hurried and hustled. So that's how we know if it's from the ego. Now, if it's also from the past, a past perception. Then when it comes to spirit, spirit is kind, loving, joyful, simple, elegant, graceful. I'm trying to think of more beautiful words that I could use. But you know, that's guidance from spirit is loving, it's kind, it's beautiful, it's graceful, it's simple, it's simplistic. It's not loud. It doesn't yell at you. It may just be like, turn left. And if you don't turn left, okay, well then you don't turn left. You know, where the ego's like, turn left. And then if you don't turn left, then it just berates you for not turning left. You know, that's it. Let's see. So, oh goodness. It can be really difficult to get out of your head, especially when you are emotionally attached to the outcome. Also, fear can make you question. Yes, fear can make you question 100%. And that's why, once again, asking for guidance isn't about, am I right or am I wrong? Asking for guidance is, I don't know what to do. And I need a higher aspect of myself to help me make this decision in any way, shape, or form. And that's why we have to let that guidance go, which is the next part of it. Once you ask for the guidance, you got to let it go so the answer can come to you. The answer doesn't come when you're sitting there being like, okay, let's say, you know, you have a question, you're like, okay, and you go to your cards or you go to an oracle and you're like, okay, what am I going to do? 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 And, you know, 6 cards fly out and all the cards contradict each other. You know, one says yes, the other one says no, the next one says yes, and the next one says no. Because once again, you're not interpreting them from peace. You are interpreting them from fear. You're trying to see what you want to happen. When asking for guidance, you have to just ask and then you release it. You have to be able to let it go and allow yourself to move into a space as best you can of non-attachment. Basically, whatever will be, will be. You don't control it. You have to allow it, because Spirit will always put you on the right path for you. But you have to be able to release that. And that's why either you can do that quick method of putting your hand over your heart. And if that doesn't work for you, then just asking for that guidance. And that's actually tomorrow, is asking without agenda. That's what we're going to be talking about. How, what is our agenda? How to ask without agenda. That's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. But the next thing I want to dive into, as soon as I get a drink here, what's the difference of putting your hand? It doesn't really make any difference at all. If that doesn't help you, you don't have to use it. It's just a tool. It's a symbol to say, I'm moving from here to here. That's it. You don't have to put your hands on your heart. It's just something that I have learned that has helped me. It's a symbol I can use to say, this is where I need to be. This is where my focus is, because you're putting pressure there, And that's what we have to do. Yes. So, now I want to talk about something that a lot of people I find get hung up on. Okay? And, well, that's all right, Kay. At least you're listening to it now, my love. At least you're listening to it now. Which is, what is the name of my guides? What are the names of my angels? What ancestors am I working with? What is the name of the goddess I'm working with? What is the name of God, the God I'm working with? What is the name? What is the name? What is the name? Always looking for a name. And, once again, if a name's going to help you, then wonderful, fabulous. But I want to tell you my story. And it's my story. It doesn't mean you have to like it. It doesn't mean that it's true for you. But it's simply my story. And, I tried for 6 months to try to figure out the name of my guides. I did every meditation. I did every tool. I did everything that you could possibly imagine. Now, number one, we all know the reason why the name of the guides didn't come to me, because I wanted it. And I was demanding it. And I thought it was so important because, everyone else would be like, oh, this is what cherubim said to me, or this is what Seraphina said to me. I was like, oh my God, I don't know the name of my guides. I have to know the name. So I meditated. I did everything I could try to figure out the name. And then people would be like, oh, I'm getting a name. It's, Joseph or this. And I'd be like, it doesn't really it wasn't resonating. It didn't feel like, that was the name. And so finally, I know this is going to sound terrible for some of you, I gave up. I said, you know what? Whatevs. As long as the guidance that I'm getting is kind, loving, honest, tactful, doesn't hurt, doesn't harm, isn't mean or negative, then I'm going to speak it. It doesn't matter who it's coming from. Why, William Shakespeare said it best. A rose by any other name would still smell as sweet. Once again, you could call it God, you could call it Yeshua, you could call it the Palladian Collective, you could call it the Andromeda Council, you could call it, the flying purple people eater from Venus, if you want. Once again, the name's not important. The name is a symbol that you can ascribe, yes. It's something that you can use, yes, if you feel like you need it. But if you have been struggling to find out the name of your guides and it's just not working, then it's okay. You don't have to know their names. You don't even have to know I have no idea who my guides are. Not a clue. Couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you if they're unicorns or rainbows or lollipops or lampshades. Don't know. And I don't really care. Because once again, if I'm ascribed to the physical, I have to know the name, then I'm getting trapped in a box. And I'm trapping, the infinite divine in a box as well by saying you have to go by a name. I have to shorten you down and put you in this little teeny tiny itsy bitsy little box. Why do that? Why? Why put the divine in a box? Darling, it's divine for a reason. It's just like saying love is an emotion. Love is not an emotion. Love is a reality. And when you try to put love as simply just an emotion, you are limiting the vastness of the ocean to a single drop. When you say love is only emotion, you are limiting infinity to a little tiny word. That's it. You don't have to know the name of your guides as long as the guidance that's coming through you, like I said, is kind, is loving, is joyful, is helpful. Then that's all that's important. Why does the name matter? Why does the name matter? What, so you can say, oh, I'm talking to Tila Slan. Okay, great. Or I'm talking to the Palladians, or I'm talking to this, I'm talking to that. Why does it matter? Maybe I'm talking to a water bottle. It doesn't matter. The name is not important. The form is not important. What is important is the content. And that's where we want to be. What is the content of your guidance? If the content of your guidance is a one that is joyful, happy, it's there to help uplift other people, not bring them down, not tell them they're broken or disheveled or, oh my God, all of your chakras are just terribly out of alignment. You are broken. You are this, or, why? 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 Instead, you could just be like, you know what? And this is just how, I may present something. I would just say, you know what? I feel like you just, right now, you want to express yourself, but you're having such a hard time doing so. So that tells me that we have a misalignment in our third chakra. That's it. Oh, I see that we have a little misalignment there. I'm not going into, oh my God, everything is terrible. I'm just like, okay, there's a little misalignment here. I'm not going into gloom and doom and darkness. Oh, not at all. There's no reason to. Because in truth, you are all light. And this is the last point I want to touch on. The reason that all of us can tune into guidance is because one thing, and one thing alone. You are always connected to the divine because you are created in the image and likeness of the divine. You are divine. You are. You are divine. And that's why you're always connected to the divine. That's why you can receive guidance. Like I said in the beginning, I am not special for doing what I do. You all can do the exact same thing. You may do it better than I do. And that's okay. Like I said, I'm doing this free workshop, seminar, whatever you want to call it, because I want to put myself out of business. I want to help you realize the truth of who you are and how you deserve guidance. How guidance is your divine birthright. It is, and I so much want you to believe that it is your birthright and that you are so entitled to guidance. You really, truly are. All right, so that's been my spiel. And I'm going to open it up to questions about this topic, or about these topics, which I know is quite a few, that I covered. So if you have questions about the topics that were covered, then feel free. Have those questions. Type them in. Oh, wonderful. Oh, well, thank you. Yes, you deserve guidance. Yes, thank you, thank you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for joining me. And once again, I'm opening it up for questions now. If you have questions based on the topics that I discussed, and you're still like, I'm a little confused, or I'm not really sure what's happening, or I don't really know, or I'm still, I still need a little clarity on this specific part, then let me know. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to be of service. I'm here to help you. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to give you those reminders. I'm not teaching you all anything you don't already know. I mean, in truth, I'm not. I'm just reminding you. It can be tough. The only reason that it's tough is because when it comes to guidance, the ego doesn't want to let go of what it knows. You know, it doesn't want to let go. Well, Caitlin, if you let me know what you are confused about, I'll be more than happy to do my best to answer that question. While I'm cleaning my closet, I heard a voice. You will live in Yucatan. How will I know if it's guidance, though? I do have a sledgehammer, and you are very well aware of my sledgehammer. The best way to find out if that's really guidance for you, you can just tune into your higher power, and you can just say, you know, higher power, if you are saying that I should move to the Yucatan, you know, please show me how. Please show me how. I just asked for, let's see. Hold on. I'm getting super excited because I have so many different things I want to say. All right. So we can say, dear higher power. I'm just going to say dear Holy Spirit because that's what I ascribe to my higher power. Dear Holy Spirit, I've gotten this inspiration to go to the Yucatan. If this is your guidance, please show me how. My goal is peace. If this is your directive, please make the experience easy, happy, and effortless. Thank you. Thy will be done. I'm currently stuck between wanting a child and I feel a difference in my stomach that I haven't felt before, and I'm a little confused on what to do. Well, very easy. This is the point where you ask for that guidance and then you let it go. Holy Spirit, if I am to have a child, you just do the exact same prayer that I just did for Juliet, you do for you, except instead of saying Yucatan, if I'm gonna have a baby. And then what would you have me do? Or if you just want to really shorten it, Holy Spirit, what would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say and to whom? Very simple, very easy. And then you just let it go. And then whatever you feel guided to do, whatever feels peaceful and compelling, then you go do that, whatever that may be. Let's see here. I kickstart for anyone who needs a little push to discover your own ability. Kickstart, okay. Sandy, that's a very good point. I'm so glad you brought that up. Do I believe the devil can give you guidance? Well, number one, for me personally, I don't believe in the devil. I believe that, you know, we create our own hells. And we are the jailers of our own hells by living in the past and living with grievance. I don't believe that the devil can give you guidance. What I do believe is that your ego can guide you back down the road of fear. That's what I believe. I believe that's where that guidance comes from, that just kind of leads you in a circle or leads you down, you know, something you may not want to go down. That's what I believe. I don't believe that the devil is here to hurt you or, you know, anything like that. I believe that it's your ego that brings up that kind of guidance. So thank you so much, Sandy, for asking that question. Oh, beautiful. Fabulous. You are welcome, Juliet. All right. So are there any, I'm looking if I missed any questions. I talk to my divine team as they are my best friends, asking the question from a place. Yes, yes. Everyone around me is excited, but the only fear would be to tell my mom. Well, once again, you have to ask for that guidance. What would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say and to whom? And it's going to allow you to have that guidance. It'll tell you exactly what to say, when to say, and how to say it if you allow it, which is actually what, excuse me, what we're going to be talking about on day 5. That is day 5's topic. Wonderful. Fabulous. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you all so much for being here. And I am actually going to be coming live again tomorrow at 6, doing this beautiful presentation again. And Oh, that's okay. And they are more than welcome to that belief. I'm not here to demean anyone's belief or tell anyone that they're terrible or awful or they're misperceiving. If that's what they believe, then that's what they believe. But once again, it's what you believe within here. So I will be back tomorrow talking about how to ask without agenda and what is our agenda and so forth and so on. And so that will be tomorrow's presentation. I also want to invite everyone here in, I don't even know what time it is. Goodness gracious. Let me see if I can click on this and tell me what time it is. Nope, it will not. Well, I don't know what time it is, but I do want to invite everyone. I'm actually going to be going live on a call here at 7 o'clock with my two beautiful clients and some recording clients. And we're going to be talking about why we deserve miracles and what are some of the blocks to those miracles. So I'm going to be putting the link here. It's absolutely free. You don't have to pay for it. The app is absolutely free. And that's an hour-long session of why we deserve miracles. So if you're interested in that and you'd like to join me, the link will be here. And you can join us on Zoom. It's free to download, free to get it. And I love you.